Call the December meeting of the 13th meeting of the Jackson County Board of Commissioners to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll? Here. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. We have the invocation by Commissioner Carl Rice, Jr.
Thank you. Heavenly Father, I come to you in prayer. And Father, I just thank you for everyone in this room. Lord, I just thank you for everyone who serves domestically and everyone that serves outside of this country, Lord. Lord, I say to you, Lord, that you know and understand every one of our needs, and I just ask that you would listen to us when we come to prayer with you, Lord. And Lord, I just truly thank you for what's coming up here soon, and that's Christmas, Lord, and I just thank you for the fact that we will be celebrating the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ, Lord, and I just ask that tonight that we will just move forward and that we will follow your will. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Hurl? Here. Commissioner Lechka? Here. Commissioner Rice?
Here.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander? Present. Commissioner Vitito?
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney? Commissioner Williams?
Present.
Commissioner Smith? Commissioner Way? Here. Commissioner Elwell? Chairman Shotwell?
Here.
9 present.
Entertaining a motion to approve the agenda. I have a motion from Commissioner Vitito, support from Commissioner Duckham. We have 2 items I would like to add to new business, please. They come from the Administrator Controller's Office. One is Deputy Administrator Compensation, and the other one is Michigan Nurses Association's tentative agreement. I have a second on that, please. Support from Commissioner Lechka for the additions. All in favor of the agenda as amended? Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. We have no awards and recognitions at this time. Do we have any communications or petitions to come to the Board of Commissioners? Seeing none, we have no special orders or public hearings this evening. We've now arrived at the first time for public comment. If you are eligible for a position under county agencies and affairs and would like to address the board, this is the time to do it. Please come forward, identify yourself by name and what committee you'd like to be appointed to, and you may address the board at this time.
Hello, my name is Jill Sears, excuse me, and I am running for the Fair Board, and I'd appreciate if you'd appoint me to it. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mike Rand, and I'm up for reappointment for the Road Commission. I ask for your support, and thank you for the last 4 years. It's been entertaining. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Willie Anderson. I'm up for appointment for the Region 2 Area on Aging. My experiences are many. I've been a part of the Enterprise Group of Jackson for over 5 years. I've City of Jackson City Council. As a matter of fact, I've served as a member of the Senior Citizens Crouch a number of years in the past. I have a bachelor's degree from Michigan State, MBA from Spring Arbor University. I'm more interested in just find a spot to help and fill and serve the community, the senior citizen community, which I am a senior citizen. I've had military experience, American Legion experience, and 10 years on the Jackson Police Department Reserve. Thank you.
Good evening and thank you. I'm John Felveri. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Airport Advisory Council. I'm also the nominee for the Airport Board, and I'd certainly be grateful to have your confidence in my nomination to that board. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Public comment is now closed. There are no special meetings of the Standing Committee of the Board of Commissioners this evening. We have the minutes for the 11:15 regular meeting of the Jackson County Board of Commissioners. I have a motion, please.
Support.
I have a motion and support. Any corrections or comments to the minutes, please? All in favor? Opposed? Duly carried. We've now arrived at the consent agenda. We have a motion and support. Commissioner Rice?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'd like to remove from the consent agenda item D, Personnel and Finance, number 13, appropriation of year-end savings.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, that will move to item 13D1, Personnel and Finance Standing Committee Reports. Any other items to be removed from the consent agenda? All in favor of the consent agenda as amended, please use your lights to vote. Yes for passing. Correct? The consent agenda has passed 9-0. We have arrived at standing committees. County Policies, Commissioner David Elwell, Chairman not present. Vice Chair, Commissioner Hurl. Commissioner Hurl.
We don't have anything at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. County Affairs and Agencies, Commissioner Dave Lechka, Chair. Commissioner Lechka.
Thank you, Chairman. We have several appointments tonight. The first one is one public member, term expiring 2013. The committee nominates John Feldberry.
We have support. Are there any nominations from the floor? All in favor of John? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Lechka.
Next is one public member to the Board of Public Works, term expiring December 2014. The committee nominates Ken Ellenboss.
We have a motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Chairman Lechka.
Next is 7 public members to the Department on Aging Advisory Council. The names being brought forward are Joe Evans, Patricia Spink, Troy Ganton, Arlene Shepard, Robert Tavalsky, Peggy Younglove, and Teresa Abbey.
We have 7 nominations for the 7 vacancies and support. Are there any nominations from the floor? Commissioner Hurl.
Would like to nominate Willie Anderson.
I'm afraid then we're going to have to separate all the votes. We'll start with Joe Evans. Do I have support for Mr. Evans? Do I have support? Let's go ahead and no. But who's he going to bump then? I'm afraid we're going to have to, because of 8 nominations for 7 slots, we're going to have to go ahead and vote through them, folks. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Rice? Commissioner Rice? Sorry.
That's okay. Evans.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Patricia Spink.
Commissioner Vidito?
Evans.
Commissioner Williams?
Evans. Next one. The next one.
Commissioner Way?
Evans. Or Spink or Will.
Commissioner Elwell? Chairman Shotwell?
Evans.
Okay.
The next nominated is Patricia Spink. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Lechka? Commissioner Rice?
Spink.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Spink.
Commissioner Vidito?
Spink.
Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Chairman Shotwell?
Spink.
Okay.
Troy Ganton. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Rice?
Gann.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Ganton.
Commissioner Vidito?
Ganton.
Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Chairman Shotwell? Call the roll.
Yes, please.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Shepard.
Commissioner Vidito?
Shepard.
Commissioner Williams?
Shepard.
Commissioner Way?
Shepard.
Commissioner Elwell?
Anderson.
Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Commissioner Rice?
Shepard.
Chairman Shotwell?
Anderson.
Okay. Shepard?
Shepard passed. Robert.
Okay. Commissioner Alexander?
Anderson.
Commissioner Vidito?
Anderson.
Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Commissioner Rice?
Anderson.
Commissioner Duckham? Chairman Shotwell? 6, 7. Yep.
Anderson.
Okay. All right. Call the roll.
Younglove.
Okay, Commissioner Vitito?
Younglove.
Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Commissioner Rice?
Younglove.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Young Love.
Chairman Shotwell?
Tversky.
Okay, Young?
Younglove passed. Abby.
Okay. Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka? Commissioner Rice?
Pavelski.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Abby.
Commissioner Vitito?
Abby.
Chairman Shotwell?
Tversky.
Yep. Correct.
That's all the seats, and Tversky is the last one nominated. Chairman Lechka.
Next is one public member to the district library, term expiring 2012. The committee nominates George Sewell.
We have a motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? All in favor? Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Lechka.
Next is one public member to the Jackson County Fair Board, term expiring December 2014.
I'd like to
The
support
committee
that.
nominates Jill Sears.
Thank you. I'll support that. Thank you.
We have a motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Lechka.
Next is four public members to the Hospital Finance Authority, terms expiring December 2012. The committee nominates Karen Kaufman, Tony Seaman, Jason Valenti, and Michael Overton.
We have support for those. Any nominations from the floor? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Lechka.
Next is one public member to the Jackson County Parks Board, term expiring 2014. The committee nominates Robert Dubois.
We have a motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Lechka.
Next is four public members to the Region 2 Planning Commission, terms expiring 2014. The committee nominates Teresa Abbey, Elwin Johnson, Chelsea Bryant, and Nyan Clavon.
Any nominations from the floor? Yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate Cassandra Legal, please.
Mr. Chairman.
Support? Commissioner Rice?
I, too, would like to nominate Cassandra Legal.
Okay, so that's support. That counts as support. Okay. Madam Clerk, are you ready?
Yes. Commissioner Way. Commissioner Elwell. Commissioner Hurl. Commissioner Lechka.
Clavon.
Commissioner Rice.
Johnson.
Commissioner Duckham. Commissioner Alexander.
Clavon.
Commissioner Vidito. Commissioner Williams. Chairman Shotwell.
Johnson.
6.
That's not 7 votes.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
That's what I thought. We do not, that is an incomplete vote. We need to have 7 votes for someone. We'll move on to the next round.
Just call it again? Okay. Commissioner Elwell. Commissioner Hurl. Commissioner Lechka.
Johnson.
Commissioner Rice.
Johnson.
Commissioner Duckham. Commissioner Alexander.
Johnson.
Commissioner Vidito. Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Way. Chairman Shotwell.
Clavon.
Okay. Johnson.
Passed.
Okay. Yes.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hurl. Commissioner Lechka.
Clavon.
Commissioner Rice.
Clavon.
Commissioner Duckham. Commissioner Alexander.
Clavon.
Commissioner Vidito.
Clavon.
Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Way. Commissioner Elwell. Chairman Shotwell. Yeah.
Legal.
Okay.
Clavon passed.
Yes. Commissioner Lechka.
Legal.
Commissioner Rice.
Legal.
Did I say chairman? Commissioner Duckham. Commissioner Alexander.
Legal.
Commissioner Vidito. Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Way. Commissioner Elwell. Commissioner Hurl. Chairman Shotwell.
Legal.
Okay.
Legal.
Now has it. Yes.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Rice? Or did I skip to Lechka?
Here.
Abby.
Okay, now I messed up. Yeah. Abby and Brian. Okay.
For clarification, Abby and Bryant are left. Commissioner Rice has voted for Abby.
Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Alexander?
Abby.
Commissioner Vidito? Commissioner Williams? Commissioner Way? Commissioner Elwell? Commissioner Hurl? Commissioner Lechka?
Bryant.
Chairman Shotwell? Okay. Bryant wins.
Bryant passes. Chairman Letchka. We're at Road
Next
Commission.
is one public member to the Jackson County Road Commission, term expiring 2017. The committee nominates Michael Rand.
Motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Letchka.
Next is one public member to the Traffic Safety Commission, term expiring 2013, December. The committee nominates Paul Garcia.
Motion and support. Any nominations from the floor? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Chairman Letchka.
No further business.
Human Services, chaired by John Williams.
Mr.
Chairman
Chairman,
Williams?
Mr. Chairman, we have no business to come before the board this evening.
Thank you. Personnel and Finance,
Yes,
chaired by Commissioner Jim Vitito.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we do have one item that was pulled from the consent agenda, and that was D13. And with that, I would make a motion to approve the budget and appropriations of year-end savings of $50,000 to Org Key 245351 for improvement to the Wesley Street Jail mechanical work, and $950,000 to Org Key 245110 to the Riverwalk Hotel demolition project. Support.
I have a motion and support. Commissioner discussion? Commissioner discussion? Commissioner Rice.
Yes, thank you, Chair. To all my fellow commissioners and the administrators, first I'd like to make a comment. For me, it's important to specify and look at the year-end savings for 2011 from this perspective of how our county departments, department heads, and elected officials were good stewards of saving approximately $1 million taxpayer dollars. So first and foremost, I want to mention that. Next, I want to mention an email that I had sent out, which I will summarize. The email went to, again, fellow commissioners, Administrator, Controller Mike Overton, and Deputy Administrator Adam Brown. The reason for this was, and the purpose of this was for discussion at tonight's meeting. And it was for me to recommend a slight change on the appropriation of the year-end savings. I have here $50,000 for improvement to the Wesley Street Jail mechanical work. I have here to appropriate $150,000 in a contingency fund for emergency needs to help keep Cascades Falls open to the public, as the falls has a lot of old parts, as we know, and I just want to make sure it continues to operate, especially throughout the summer months. I also would like to say that we all realize that the falls is a landmark that our public embraces. And there's another part of this too. We all know that there's going to be a Pier Jackson campaign. They're going to be working with the Jackson Chamber and the Bureau is going to be working with Pier Michigan. That's the Tourism Bureau. They're going to be working with Pier Michigan, and they're going to be promoting Jackson. And my understanding, that's going to start in 2012. And one of the integral parts of that is going to be Cascades Falls. And hopefully that will be that Pier Jackson campaign. Hopefully that will be something that actually brings people to our county, helps us bring in revenue, and I believe that having a well-run Cascades Falls would certainly contribute to that. Another part of what I put in the email for the appropriation was a change. It was $800,000 to the Riverwalk Hotel for demolition. This was to be added to the approximate $800,000 that's already been set aside. Conclusion, and I'm sure some of you are surprised, conclusion already. I support, and I want to clearly say this, I support the strategic plan as to taking down the Riverwalk Hotel as a commission as a whole. I do support that. I pray that that area will become a beautiful place for Jackson County and for the public. What I don't support is appropriating $950,000 to it. As I stated a second ago, I put down an appropriation of $800,000. So I don't support the $950,000. That's what I don't support. And that is why I will ultimately be voting no on this. Thank you for listening.
Commissioner Elwell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be voting for the proposal as presented from Personnel and Finance, and I had talked in depth with Commissioner Rice about it. It just makes most sense to me. I appreciate his passion for wanting to take care of the Cascades. I think we all share that passion probably and understand the need to do that, but it just doesn't make sense to me to divide our energy right now and to underfund or potentially underfund what it would cost to deconstruct the Riverwalk Hotel. And as we had talked about it before the meeting, realistically, now's probably a good time to undertake a project like this, both for the construction business as well as the potential salvage costs from whatever metal's in the building. We don't know for sure what it's going to cost, and I would fear that we underfund it now and then would, again, be divided on how to come up with the money to complete the project. So we've dedicated, I think by my math, about, 1.6 or 1.8 altogether. And the reality is that if we get 6 months down the road and are able to do the project that soon and it comes in under what we have allocated, then is the time that we as a Board of Commissioners can decide where that additional funding that we have in that line item can go, potentially to the Cascades. That makes much more sense to me than splitting money out of what we have put as a high priority for now and trying to partially fund something else that we don't know what the entire project would cost or how long it would take. So I'll be supporting the resolution that came out of Personnel and Finance. Thank you.
Commissioner Way?
I'd just like to say I appreciate Commissioner Rice bringing this back up again for discussion, because I think we had a good discussion in our study session and it needed to be discussed again. I also appreciate Commissioner Rice, your passion for the Cascades Falls. I also have that passion. I've been preaching that for a couple of years now. It is one of our landmarks. One of our models has been with that. One of the world's finest, Cascades Falls, and I think that was proved again last night on the Jeopardy show when it was a question. And I mean, it to me as a citizen and as a Parks Board member, it made me proud that that it is a national monument that you got attraction from a major TV show. And last year we did appropriate $100,000 towards the engineering study for the falls. And I think that was a good first step. And I can tell you, if we would have had that study back by now, and were able to put together a plan, I would stand behind your changes. But I also know that the Riverwalk is a huge thing that we need to get that down and go forward. But hopefully next year we'll have a study in hand by the engineering on where we can really put together a good plan to rebuild our landmark, and something that Jackson's really proud of, and it's known nationwide now. So I will be supporting this motion.
Commissioner Hurl.
I'll be supporting this motion, but I would hopefully that we can find some money in our budget adjustments and stuff like that to bring some money forward to the Cascades. Being out there and seeing what the Parks Association has come up with to help out in the filter system out there and stuff like this. I would like to see the county step forward and bring some money forward too to help out there with this Cascade Falls. So I know when I was on that board, those motors out there then were breaking down. They couldn't get them rewound because they were made in the 30s. And I would hope that we can find some money to put towards this. I know I talked with Commissioner Rice on this a couple times, and I feel what he does. The Cascades is a very monumental thing, and I would like to see some of the money. I don't know, we had $3 million left over last year, and I know we can't send that into this, but I know that we can find some money to send out there. So this is where I'm coming from, but I will vote yes on this vote.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I concur with my fellow commissioners in that I'll be supporting the motion as brought up by Personnel and Finance, but I think it highlights the point that Mr. Rice is putting forward, and that's discussion about how those year-end dollars will be allocated needs to have a bit of a vetting time so we can look at go back and look at our priorities as we know them to be, and then also to look at the horizon so we can focus on next year's situation. One of the things that Chairman Shotwell was kind enough to cue me in on is that we do have a report for what it will cost to take the Riverwalk Hotel down. It's an estimation, but we're right there. If we weren't close, or if we were well overfunding it, I would agree 100% with Mr. Rice to look to other priorities. But as it is right now, we don't have an exact number for the Riverwalk Hotel, and I concur with Commissioner Elwell that it wouldn't make sense to underfund it and then to be sitting on the taxpayer dollars for another full year or whatever it takes before we would appropriate those dollars to take that building down. I think overfunding it's best. Hopeful in a bidding situation, it's not going to be cheaper than it's going to be now to take that building down, and that any savings that we can hopefully ultimately receive through that process can then be directed to another priority such as the Cascades. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Duckham.
I just echo what John Williams just said. That was right about what I was going to say to a T. Thank you.
Commissioner Alexander.
I must commend Commissioner Rice for not only his passion, but his willingness to think out of the box and offer another option to our board. You are to be commended for that. It absolutely does not surprise me. Your use of the board template is to be commended as well, and your continued effort to perform due diligence to this community is commendable. You represent your constituents well, Commissioner Rice, and that is commendable. I'm going to keep this real short. That was my humor, folks. Okay. I need more information in order to allocate money differently. We're talking about an engineer's plan. We don't have a plan. In the memo you shared with us, you say there are 3 existing plans for the Cascades Falls that address the immediate, recommended, and long-term needs. I'm not aware of these plans. I'm not aware of these numbers. So for me to adjust the budget without all of that information, I just would not be able to do so. Also, if emergency money is allocated to the Cascade Falls in order to keep it operating, I question, is it a Band-Aid approach or one made with strategic financial plan in place? By stating in the memo, as you did, that the equipment is 80 years old, I believe it's important that we have all the economic implications of the entire project in front of us so that we are able to make an informed decision. We agree tourism is an important industry to Jackson, and the Cascades Falls is an important aspect of that. But I believe we have everything in place to keep our facilities running until a master plan is created. Finally, while I was not serving on the Board of Commission years ago when the commitment was made to remove the Riverwalk Hotel, even as a new commissioner, I believe it is a priority to stand with this commission in standing behind the priorities that prior commissions made. Thank you.
Shall we vote? Motion pass? No. 10-1. Commissioner Vitito.
That will conclude all the business from Personnel and Finance this evening, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we've arrived at unfinished business, which there is none. Under new business, we have resolutions 12-11.44 in support of maintaining the current population thresholds for metropolitan planning organizations in the federal surface transportation legislation. Have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion and I have support. Any questions or comments from the board? Let's use our lights to vote, please. Resolution is passed. At this time, we've now arrived at the items that the Administrator Controller wanted to bring forward. And we'll go ahead and do that. Mr. Overton, if you're ready to present the Deputy Administrator compensation, please do.
Thank you. Pass this out.
A motion and support to receive the documentation. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Duly carried.
Thank you. Hey, you should have one. Everybody have enough? What you have before you here is a recommendation to compensate Adam Brown, the Deputy County Administrator, for his efforts as interim administrator, I should say, for 7 months. He performed the job admirably, stepped up in the absence of administrator. And while he turned down compensation, did not want any compensation, frankly, I know he worked many hours, considerable personal sacrifice of time away from his family. And frankly, in his absence, if we didn't have a deputy administrator, the board more likely than not would have had to appoint or engage in an interim administrator at great cost, tens of thousands of dollars. So this time I would recommend that the board change, or I should say grant Adam Brown a $5,000 compensation enhancement.
I have a motion from Commissioner Lechka and support from Commissioner Mahoney. Are there any commissioner comments at this time? Seeing none, let's vote with our lights. Did you clear the board?
I had it cleared already.
Can you clear the board? Can you now make it so no one can see the board? That's, yeah. Even with our electronic malfunctioning here, we've been able to get through this unanimous. Congratulations, Adam. The other item the administration would like to bring forward, and the motion requested, is approval of tentative agreement between the County of Jackson and the Michigan Nurses Association, MNA. I have a motion. I have support from Commissioner Hurl. We have documentation if you would like to have the tentative agreement, and HR is here to present it. Commissioners, would you like to have this? Then, with that, we can vote. It's what we've discussed, so it's not like it's anything new. Because, go ahead.
Because they just approved it on the other end. We thought it was important to try to get it in before the end of the year. It sets the tone for the remaining contracts, as well as with a new law that's been passed at the state. There is not necessarily any retroactivity, so this way we're not penalizing that union for being quick.
Do you want it?
I'm not proposing.
He wants to vote. Okay. So passed. That was my fault because they said yes immediately. So, We've now returned to the second public comment. If you'd like to address the board, please step forward and identify yourself.
John Felveri, newly appointed airport board member, and I want to thank all of you for your support. And I've had the pleasure of going to meetings, and some of you sit on the airport board, and it'll be my honor and pleasure to join you on that board and work with you. And also the best airport manager we could possibly have, Kent Maurer. He's a wonderful man. You are really blessed to have the management that we have out at the airport and his staff. Thank you very much.
Mike Rand, I'd just like to thank everyone for your support, and hopefully the next 6 years go a little smoother than the first 4. Thank you.
My name's Jill Sears, and I'm trying to hide back there, but I just want to say thank you, you guys. This has been an experience so far, and I hope it stays in here. Thank you.
Bob DuBois, and I would like to thank the commissioners for electing me to the Parks Board.
Any other public comment? Commissioner comment. Commissioner Elwell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a brief comment that regarding the tentative agreement that we approved tonight, it is noteworthy to mention that we did get that by email today, the outlines of it, for those commissioners that may not have seen it. So it wasn't like we were totally blindsided by it. All the details were in there. Thank you.
Commissioner Vitito.
Yes, during our conversation on the motion from Personnel and Finance this evening, I appreciate the support for that, because I think it is important for this Board of Commissioners to be behind commitments that this Board of Commissioners and community members made at the time we made that. My other comments would be to the audience and to my fellow commissioners, I hope you all have a great holiday, a safe holiday, and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Commissioner Mahoney, I believe you were next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for being late. I had late therapy, and it was not a good day for therapy. But anyway, I'm happy that I made it here. I was expecting a choir and all that great stuff, and so I wasn't going to be too late, but that didn't happen. But what I wanted to say is to Adam, how much I really did appreciate your support during the time we didn't have an administrator. And I think you did a yeoman's job, and I certainly appreciate all the work that you did and that you continue to do to support this board and this community. So thank you very much. And while I'm speaking, I'd like to wish every single one of my fellow board members and everyone in this audience and in our watching audience a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Commissioner Lechka.
I guess I'd like to wish everybody Merry Christmas and welcome all the newly appointed committee and board members to their respective boards. Welcome, and we'll see you next year.
Any other commissioner comments? For those of you that have been appointed, I've been informed by the clerk that she can swear you in this evening, so you'll be duly sworn in. Any other commissioner comments? As chairman, I want to thank everyone for the hard work you've done this last year, and it's been a pleasure to be your chairman. I have been humbled by all of you, and I look forward to working with you this next year as a commissioner and the challenges that face us going forward with our strategic plan and continued exciting things that we can do for Jackson County. With that, I thank you, and we are adjourned.